the family. All right, we live now. This is Brady B. Dixon, and you're tuned in to another episode of the Power of Ownership podcast. Do a quick solo show real fast. Um, my guest host Stephen Contreras is on vacation, so we're gonna keep the party rolling. Coming to you Saturday, actually Sunday. Lost track of time. I've been grinding so much. Sunday the 16th, real quick. Let's get the party started. Let me go ahead and introduce myself, introduce the show, and let's get to the subject matter. I'm not going to keep it too long. Try to make the show, a little bit condensed, 20 minutes, get straight to the point, get in and out. I got to make this point, we'll get into it in a second. Let's introduce myself first. My name is Brandon B. Dixon. I'm a serial entrepreneur, mortgage broker, published author. My book, Sales the Nucleus of Any Profession, is out right now on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Get that. My second book will be out very, very soon, within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Cop that. That's coming out real soon. I just did the pre-log lecture, the prologue to the book. It's going to be a 3-part lecture that I'm doing, hour each, 45 minutes to an hour each lecture. The first Genetics is on the YouTube channel right now. It's on the Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. It's powerful stuff. Called Billionaire Mind State. So that's the name of the lecture. The book, I'm not going to name the book until it's actually copyrighted. So I'll tell you the name of the book in a few weeks here. So stay tuned for that. Also, let's go ahead and kick it off. For those who want a mortgage, you're looking for investment properties, you want a multi-doors, you want to get those duplexes, you want to get those high-rises, those condos to rent out, or you're looking for your first primary residence, go ahead and go to my website, www.hocmortgage.com. I help everybody, first-time home buyers, investors, so on and so forth, but I specialize in those people, making people passive income. So if you want to get investment property, that's my specialty. I know all the ins and outs, getting those second doors, the third doors, the fourth doors, so on and so forth. That's my specialty. Go to my website, www.billionaireloanofficer.com. If you want to book me for sales training, motivational speeches, lectures, you want me to mentor you, one-on-one sales training, so on and so forth, role playing. You want me to develop a curriculum? That's my wheelhouse. So www.billionaireloanofficer.com, or if you want to just book me for a consultation, that's the site that you do that at. Lastly, call me, 832-775-8357. I'm available 24/7. Call me. If you got any loan scenario, we'll go over real quick. Again, I can't do too much without an application, man. A lot of people want me to diagnose their situation without an app. I got to have the x-ray. I'm like the doctor that needs to see the x-ray. I need to see the x-ray in order to properly diagnose you. So it's only so much I can do over the phone. So 832-775-8357. Also, last thing, at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Please follow me, family. Got a good following on all the social medias. I want to double that by the end of this year. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow me. Fresh content's coming out. I got the 8 daily blogs where we talk about all positive energy. I have another Q&A show coming out this week. It's going to be fire. So anything you want to ask on a loan tip, it's going to be fire, man. So just stay tuned for that. I got more fresh content coming out on social media. Let's go ahead and hop into the subject here. Oh, before we stop into the subject, let me introduce the show for first-time listeners. I get a lot of first-time listeners. Actually, our audience is gaining traction on the audio. We're getting good traction on the audio. For those listeners out there on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Podcasts and all that, keep on listening. Keep on telling a friend to tell a friend. If we could get the YouTube up like the Apple, we'll be all right. So keep that party going. The Power of Ownership podcast, we talk about not only ownership of properties, businesses, intellectual properties, so on and so forth, but we actually make it pragmatic and we bridge the gap between the seen and unseen realm. So we talk about metaphysics stuff, the metaphysical, the unseen, the occult, and tying it to real life and real life situations. So we give you the blueprint for you to be successful if you really pay attention to us. So that's what we do. It's all the power of ownership, because not only you have to own these business, but if you don't own your mind, body, and soul, the business won't be successful. And you don't own the now. You don't own the moment. You won't be successful. You chose this moment to come in, so you have to own the moment. So the power of ownership is talking about the power of all these elements, and don't sleep on all these elements, because ownership of all these elements is what takes you to the next level to deify yourself. So that's just what it is. Let's get into the subject matter, because I don't want to keep y'all too long. This is a controversial subject because a lot of people get sensitive when you really talk about something that hits home for them. And people don't realize this is just a general statement. This does exist. This is a plague in the entrepreneurial paradigm. And it's not for anybody specific. A lot of people get in their feelings and think I'm talking about them, or tweeting or whatever. I don't do any subs. I will at you, so let's get that straight anyway. So that's why I hadn't really done this a show about this subject before, but it's a big problem in the entrepreneurial community, or just the community in general. In my community, with Black and brown people, quote unquote, it's a big problem. And I want to talk about what's called backflipping. And backflipping is basically is just a slang that we use for people that are hustling backwards. People that are hustling and not creating any wealth. They're in a particular field that doesn't generate any money. They're putting their effort into a field that doesn't allow you to see the black. Most are always in the red. They're in a particular business that is a dinosaur business that no longer makes money on a mass scale, that you're behind 5 to 10 years behind the trend. This is what's called backflipping. Also, you can put this in the same tent. Backflipping is when you're renting for all these years and not accumulating wealth. That's backflipping as well. You could include that in the tent of the diaspora, what we're talking about. So for those who lifetime renters for 10, 20 years, think all that money that you spent. Think about it. If you spend, let's keep the number simple, $1,000 a month for a year, that's 12 G's. For 10 years, that's 120 G's. You purchased the house right there. 20 years, that's 240 G's. That's going down the drain. That's not under your last name. If you put that money into a house, that always stays under your last name. It's not going anywhere. That's not the basis of your adulthood. That's one of the first things you should do when you enter the workforce, is get you a house. You should be early 20s getting your first house. That's how it should be. That way you can put a game plan together to get that thing paid out 10 to 15 years. That way you at least got one by the time you reach the mid-30s. A lot of people want to, I'm going to speak on the house thing first, then I'm going to expand to businesses, because a lot of people are so sensitive about this. Oh, he's talking about me. Oh, he's hating. I'm not hating, man. I'm not talking about anybody specific. It's just a broad plague, Achilles heel in our community that I got to speak upon, because some people are not aware of this and are aware that they're actually doing it. And if you put that mirror to their face, they can then in turn do better. And some people are going to crater. Some people get worse. This is what it is. But let's go on from there. Let's continue talking about the housing. So early 20s, you should be getting your first house. If you're behind, you're behind, but let's start now. That way, a lot of people be wanting their first house to be their dream house. And you should have your first 2 to 3 houses facilitate your dream house, especially if you're not coming from wealth. Now, if you're coming with a silver spoon in your mouth, your parents have money and stuff like that, get you a good down payment, fine, that's fine. But most people are coming from nothing, coming from the soil, the mud, the dirt. Get yourself a 620 credit score, mid-score. That's all you need. Get a down payment assistance program or whatever. There's money out there, grant money. Call me, I'll tell you about it. You know, get you a couple $1,000 together for your earnest money. You know, we getting money right now for income tax time. It doesn't take much. Kick your landlord to the curb, get inside your house, and get a game plan together. This is the thing, what happens with our community. A lot of people, if you can afford $2,000 a month in rent or for your living expenses, we spend $2,200. We overspend our budget. How the rich people do it, how the successful do it, so if they can afford $2,000, they actually spend only $1,500. And then they take the other $500 and put towards principal. That way you're paid out fully, and you slice that interest rate in half, because you cannot be charged money or interest for money that you've already spent. So if you lock in at a 4.0 and you pay that thing off early, that's no longer a 4.0, that's a 2.0. That's you pay it off in half the time. That's how that works. So people sweating interest rate. That's if you go for the whole 30 years. Stay disciplined and pay more towards the principal. Knock that thing out. Simple. If you don't understand what I'm saying, call me. I will break this down to you. But there's no reason that we can't get into a home, a townhome, a condo, something that's yours, something that you can put towards your last name. Otherwise, you're backflipping. You're spending $1,500, $2,000 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever, and it's going out the window. It's not accumulating any wealth. It's not appreciating any value. If you own your own home, that $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month, even if $500 is going towards interest, you still got $1,000 that's going towards almost like a piggy bank that's going to sit there and accumulate value, because as that property, that house goes up, your money goes up. And this isn't going anywhere. That money is always there. You can always pull that out liquid. It's like a piggy bank. So let's get off of that, because again, I don't want to keep you too long. Let's talk about people that's in these dinosaur businesses. And what I mean by dinosaur businesses is that you're in a business that once made a lot of money. They once ruled the earth. It's like dinosaurs. But now, since technology has changed, it don't make the same amount of money. But yet, you're still trying to dump your effort into it like the yields are the same. They're not. I mean, let's go down the list. Beepers, typewriters, before, I can't think of it right now, but there's a lot of businesses that went out of business because technology is there now. The singing telegram. Remember those? So it has been replaced. The typewriter has been replaced with the computer, the cell phone. The beeper's been replaced with a cell phone. It went to two-way pages, then it went to cell phone, and it's all included. That's gone. Same thing with my business. Just give you a quick personal story. I had a couple of video stores. The iPhone and streaming services put me out of business. I had a chance and opportunity to invest in Netflix. I passed. I had an opportunity to invest in Hardbox, Redbox. I passed. I didn't have the vision. In my mind, I was stubborn. I thought that hard copies and the ritual of going inside a video store and picking out your movies was going to be a family ritual forever. I was wrong. I'm grown enough to admit it. I was also in the music industry. I thought that you could, it was going to evolve and stuff like that, but they're going to come out with a different hard copy from there. There was always going to be a way to make money. There's not. They're squeezing everybody out, and there's only certain artists. When was the last time they broke an artist? What are they breaking? What, 1 or 2 artists every year, maybe? So you got to be a grown man enough, a grown woman enough to admit, well, this business isn't the right business. And there's so many businesses that's neglect jump into these same businesses. Entertainment, athletics. And there's so much other stuff that's neglected. There's almost no competition, man. We always want to hop on these two bandwagon or something illegal. Those 3, should I say. That's backflipping. So you exhausted all your energy in something that doesn't work anymore. I learned this from my mentor, Mattress Mac, that whenever you get into something, you got to look 10 years down the line, 5 to 10 years down the line. How can this change? How can this react? When I got into loans, when I got into the mortgage industry, I looked 5 to 10 years down the line, and I got a 5 to 10 year game plan. The position as I know it right now will not be the same 5 years from now. It's probably going to be obsolete. It's getting that way right now. So loan officers that's listening to me, which probably won't be a lot because most of them are, I'm going to leave that alone. But it's going to be like taxi cabs. Uber put out the taxi cab business. Truckers, you better watch out. The self-driving trucks are coming. 5 to 10 years from now, that's going. A trucker is going to be a thing of the past. So if you're right now thinking about forming your trucking business, I would say, yeah, eat off of that for 5 years and have a game plan to get out of that. Because unless you're invested in the self-driving trucks, this will be a dinosaur business. That brings us to the last thing. How do I flip forward? If you're in a dinosaur business, if you're in a backflip, if you're in a also I wanted to, before I get to there's another nuance that people get into as well. Are you making enough money, but you're making enough money just to keep your head above water? You're in one of those businesses. So this is a good way to segue to how to flip forward. 2 words: cash out. Cash out. Suck it up. Don't re-up. Take that money and invest in something else. Get into something that's going to actually make money. Or start you a side business right now that's going to supplement your transition. Drive an Uber. Drive a Lyft. Make you some extra cash until that new venture gets out of there. Those who still selling, CDs and DVDs on the corner, I mean, you got to have some other type of game plan coming in. It just is what it is. It's they build better mousetraps every day. This could happen to your business. Always think of what is my next venture. Also, you don't want to put your eggs in one basket. You always want to have 7 streams of income, at least. If you don't have your rental, get your rental portfolio. Get you a portfolio with stocks and municipal bonds, city bonds, stuff like that, where you got that income coming in. Dabble in that a little bit. Get your internet business that makes money while you sleep. Get some products. You got it now where you can have these sales funnel where you get automated products. It automatically ships out. You ain't got to do nothing. It's just money deposited in your account. Drive an Uber, Lyft in your spare time. I mean, broke is a choice, my dude, my people, my guys, my sisters. I can't explain it to you enough. Broke is a choice. If you're broke, you choose to be in that particular paradigm. There's no way with all of these venues, all of these avenues to get paid that you don't have any money. You know, but yet you got the latest J's, yet you got the latest iPhone, yet you got the latest video games. If you got enough time to play video games, you got enough time to get out there and get it. Stay disciplined. If you don't have 6 months of reserves in your bank account, why are you shopping for J's? Why are you going out this weekend? Forget going out. Turn that Uber app on. Drive. Pick people up from the club. Make money. You still out, but you out working. This is a mind state, man. That's how you flip forward, man. Get out of it. Cut ties with it. Stop being stubborn. Stop trying to beat a dead horse and trying to resurrect a dead horse. If it's dead, it's dead, man. And this is another thing. People, it's a pride thing. When I got out of my video store, when we went, I sold my video store, decided to get out of the business, and tried to go to my next step. I admit it on camera, failed. I wanted to get into video production. I wanted to be the next director and shoot these films, in which I have a passion for, to write and, shoot films, short films, all the so on and so forth. It's an epic failure because at that same time, all of these DSLR cameras came out. So now these college kids are shooting videos for $300, which I couldn't, edited $300. So me coming from $1 million operation, how many videos would I have to do to make a decent living? There's not enough time in the day. So I had to get out of it. And without the revenue, the daily revenue of the video store coming back in, the money that I had saved up, that 6 month stash plus that I had, and with the bad spending habits that I had, that money is gone ASAP. Less than a year. Spending up like I still had it. So I had to swallow my pride, get a mentor, and get a job. And when getting that job, I vowed that once I complete this job, I'll never go back to a job again. I'll never go back to where I have a boss telling me what to do again after I get myself out of the hole. And I wanted to learn everything and reflect everything that I did wrong the first time and get better at myself. And it's just the pride of now, have to take a step back to take a step forward. But when I was doing my reflection period, I realized that, hey, Nintendo, Gene Roddenberry, all these guys, all these successful entrepreneurs didn't become successful from their first rip. Usually their third, fourth, sometimes fifth, 16th, 17th, 18th company. That was the one that actually blew. So there's nothing to put your head down. My first business was a successful business, but the time it ran its course. Technology caught up with it, and it had to go. Could I have made changes to keep up with the time? Yeah, sure. I could have switched it up, but brick and mortar, period, is going out. So I had to swallow my pride, analyze the game, remanufacture myself, and now I'm back with a vengeance. It's something that you have to do. It's just a pride thing. Get over your pride, get over yourself, so you can move forward, so you can start flipping forward. Get into something that's going to make money not only today, but 30 years from now. One of the things that you can't lose with is real estate. Nobody's going to pick up a house and steal it. Some people are always going to need places to live. This is what it is. So I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I hope this didn't offend too many people. If it did, then you might need to make a change. Again, if you want to get a mortgage, hocmortgage.com. If you don't have a passive income, this is the best way to get it, the safest thing. One of the safest investments you can get is in real estate. 70% of all millionaires have a real estate portfolio. Let's get yours going today, hocmortgage.com. If you're in the sales profession, you're a realtor, anything that's sales and marketing, call me. Get better. www.billionaireloanofficer.com. Call me for one-on-one sales training. If you want me to mentor you, if you want motivational speech at your wherever, call me. I mean, actually, go on the website and book me. www.billionaireloanofficer.com. At Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Like, subscribe, so on and so forth. Also, call me, 832-775-8357. Call me 24/7. You got any questions about the show? You're thinking about getting an investment portfolio? Let's go, man. Let's do it. 832-775-8357. Cop the book, Sales the Nucleus Vending Profession, out right now. Cop it. Second book will be out real soon. Again, I'm not going to keep y'all too long. Remember, God is a verb, and personal responsibility is your only savior. I'm going to say peace.